to ABC Interactive English. I'm Mike.
I'm Rainbow.
So here we are, the final part
finally.
of our Shepherd Boy story and fable. Now I think that they should change the title of this story from The Shepherd Boy to The Wise Shepherd Boy.
Mike, I totally agree with you. Or maybe at least The Clever Shepherd Boy, because we know from both questions that he's really smart, right?
He sure is. He's wise enough to know that the questions that the king is asking him are very hard to answer.
But then he's also clever enough to actually give the king a great answer. Like when he said that if the king wanted to know how many drops of water there were in the ocean, he would have to block all the rivers first so he could count each drop, which is impossible to do because that would be too much water and it would take too long.
Yeah, so you see, the shepherd boy is both wise and clever, but he's only answered 2 of the king's questions, hasn't he?
That's right, and there's one more question to go, so let's find out what that final question is after we take a look at all of today's new vocabulary right now. 我们先来看几个单字。第一个 second 秒是个名词。Come here this second. Come here this second. 这一秒马上给我过来。第二个单字 diamond 钻石是个名词。玛丽莲梦露 Marilyn Monroe 的时代流行一句话 Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. 钻石是一个女孩最好的朋友。第三个单字 mountain 山是个名词。The beautiful Appalachian Mountains are located in North America. The beautiful Appalachian Mountains are located in North America. 美丽的阿巴拉契亚山脉位于北美。最后一个单字 deep 有什么深的，是个形容词。The pool is just 2 meters deep. The pool is just 2 meters deep. 这个泳池只有2米深而已。好喽，我们看完单字例句，一起来看课文吧。
Finally, the king asked,
How many seconds are there in eternity?
In response, the shepherd boy said,
The Diamond Mountain is 2.5 miles high, wide, and deep.
So the king wanted the shepherd boy to answer 3 questions. Now, if he can, the king said that he would treat the shepherd boy like his own son and let him live in the castle.
So far, the shepherd boy has given 2 great answers to the king's first 2 questions. So we're going to continue right now.
All right, and so we can see that our first sentence today begins, Finally, the king asked, How many seconds are there in eternity?
Oh my gosh.
Geez, another impossible question. Doesn't the king want to ask him at least one easier question, like, what is the capital of Spain? Or how heavy is the Taipei 101 building?
I don't know.
Actually, yeah, that last one might be a little bit difficult.
Well, yes, but maybe not as difficult as the king's question.
Yeah.
How many seconds are there in eternity? The king basically wants to know how many seconds are there in all time forever. I mean, that's actually impossible. And the question doesn't even make sense because eternity is forever and ever and ever. So you just continue to count and it keeps going. 在这边加个补充单字 eternity 永恒，形容词是 eternal 永恒，感觉没有停止的一天，所以根本没有办法数呀。
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's impossible. A second is one of our new words today, and it's just a very short period of time, about that long. As you guys know, there are 60 seconds in 1 minute and around 31.5 million seconds in 1 year.
Really? Huh. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, me neither, but I looked it up. So, figuring out how many seconds in eternity Impossible. I think the king is just being mean for fun now.
I know, but the shepherd boy does need to give him an answer. Let's see what kind of wise answer he comes up with. As we read, it says, in response, the shepherd boy said, the Diamond Mountain is 2.5 miles high, wide, and deep. Huh? Okay, so I think he's just starting to answer the question.
Yeah, this is the beginning of his answer. So I guess he's using this big mountain to explain how much time there is in eternity. There will be more to the answer, but first let's take a look at a few things in that last sentence. The shepherd boy used some more of our new vocabulary words there, and the next one that we see is the word diamond. A diamond is a very valuable stone. We use diamonds to make jewelry, and when people plan to get married, they might buy a diamond ring.
So in this story, the boy is talking about a mountain made out of diamond. Now, a mountain is another word in our vocabulary, and that's just a very large amount of rock that rises above the ground. So as the earth has grown and changed over millions of years, mountains have been made by earthquakes and other movements. For example, Yushan is the tallest mountain in Taiwan, and Mount Everest in Nepal is the tallest mountain in the world. 大家知道地球上第一高峰是哪里吗？就是 Mount Everest， 位于尼泊尔的圣母峰。
And the mountain in our story, Diamond Mountain, which isn't a real mountain, is described as 2.5 miles high, wide, and deep. So deep here is our final vocabulary word of the day, and deep basically means how far down something goes or how far below the surface of something. If we're talking about the earth, a mine or a cave, a big hole in the ground might go quite deep. Or if you're on the water and you swim down below the water, if you're a fish or in a submarine, you're going deep. You're going quite far down below the water. All right, so deep is not going up, deep is going down. Okay, so it looks like this is a good time for us to take a break. We'll do that, and then we'll come back to hear more about the shepherd boy's answer to the king's final question.
He continued,
Every 100 years, a little bird comes and sharpens its beak on it. When it makes the whole mountain disappear, the first second of eternity will be over.
You answered my questions like a wise man.
the king said.
So from today on, you'll live here with me, and I'll look on you as my own child.
Okay, so the shepherd boy is trying to explain to the king how many seconds there are in eternity. This, of course, is an impossible question to answer.
But of course, the shepherd boy is trying. He began his answer by talking about a famous mountain that's very big. It's 2.5 miles high, wide, and deep. So, I guess the king knows which mountain the boy is talking about.
Right, so now that the boy has the king thinking about this big mountain, we read, he continued, every 100 years a little bird comes and sharpens its beak on it. Aha, so occasionally, only one time in every 100 years, does this little bird come to the mountain to make its beak sharper by rubbing it on the mountain.
在这边加几个补充单字，第一个 occasionally 偶尔，有时 sharpen 使锐利。Rub 摩擦，所以鸟儿借由这座山，以摩擦的方式让自己的嘴巴变得更锐利，每100年一次。Interesting.
So this little bird comes along once every 100 years
Oh my goodness.
to rub its tiny little beak against this really big and really hard mountain. Got it. And how does this explain how many seconds there are in eternity?
Okay, wait. So Mike, the shepherd boy is just getting to that now.
Right.
So he keeps saying, when it makes the whole mountain disappear, The first second of eternity will be over. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, that's going to be
a really long time.
Yeah, so the bird only rubs its beak once every 100 years.
And the little bird will take so long to make that giant mountain disappear.
Yeah, and when that happens, it will still just be the first second of eternity.
So there are a lot of seconds in eternity.
That was so smart.
Yeah, the shepherd boy did it again. He answered a nearly impossible question with a good answer that helped to explain things in a simple way. And so, needless to say, the king, he was impressed. Wow, you answered my questions like a wise man, the king said. Yeah, the shepherd boy sure did.
And then the king keeps his promise to reward the shepherd boy. As we reach the end of the story, the king says, "So from today on, you'll live here with me, and I'll look on you as my own child." Wow, that's amazing. 好了，因为牧童的答案实在是让国王太惊艳了，所以国王决定把他当作自己的小孩，一起住在皇宫。Impress 使印象深刻。Okay, and it will probably be very helpful for the king to have a wise man around to help him answer many more difficult questions in the future, like an advisor.
That is true, but I kind of wish we got to see what the king's answer will be to the shepherd boy's really difficult question.
Ooh, wait, what difficult question would the boy ask?
Hey king, hey dad, I'm a shepherd boy, so can my sheep move into the palace with me? Okay, folks, thanks for joining us, and we'll have more fun articles for you soon. Until then, be smart.
Be wise.
Like the shepherd boy, and take care of your sheep. Bye-bye.
Finally, the king asked.
How many seconds are there in eternity?
In response, the shepherd boy said,
The Diamond Mountain is 2.5 miles high, wide, and deep.
He continued,
Every 100 years, a little bird comes and sharpens its beak on it. When it makes the whole mountain disappear, the first second of eternity will be over.
You answered my questions like a wise man.
the king said.
So from today on, you'll live here with me, and I'll look on you as my own child.
Hi， 我是 Winnie。这边今天要讲的第一个是 in response， 作为回应。response 是回应、回复的意思。看个例句哦。I find it hard to laugh in response to his bad joke。反映他的无趣笑话，我很难笑。第二个是 2.5， 2.5或是2个半。那这边这个 a half 就是半个、一半的意思，很常用到哦。My sister is 2.5 years older than me。我姐姐比我大2岁半。最后这个字是 every 100 years， 每隔100年。every 呢表示每一个的，后面可以任意接时间哦，像是 every 5 weeks 每5个星期，或是 every 2 hours 每2个小时。我们来看个例句 ：Every 2 weeks I go running with my friends。每隔2周呢，我都会跟我的朋友一起去跑步。
Mega City is a huge department store in downtown Banqiao. It's got everything for life, relaxing, and shopping. The shopping center has a comfortable atmosphere. One of the unique things about Mega City is its themed areas. B1's food court looks like an old Taiwanese street. You can see shops like old-style hair salons and shaved ice stores. Up on the 9th floor, Restaurants offer all kinds of foreign dishes. The area looks like Venice, with small boats on waterways. Customers will feel like they're traveling in Venice.
See you next time!